Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about my 3 favorite fragrances to go with 3 of my favorite fragrance notes. This was insanely hard to narrow down. This is that tag video that's been going around, the 3 for 3, and one of my viewers left a comment and requested this video. So technically I wasn't tagged, but it's a requested video. So yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, I didn't realize how many fragrance notes I love, and then how difficult it would be to narrow it down for each one. Like, I thought I really love Peony, and then it was near impossible to narrow down that. And same thing with Rose, and I couldn't choose 3 florals, so I tried to keep it pretty well-rounded. My first favorite fragrance note is leather, and the fragrance that I want to show you is one that I recently got, and I just posted this on my Instagram. So the first fragrance I'm going to show you guys is Kelly from Hermes, and this one I recently got. It is such a soft, sophisticated, dry leather. It's not sweet. It's really nothing like I've ever smelled before, and I was so surprised that I haven't heard much about this fragrance. So I wore it a few times and literally got compliments every single time I wore it, which is so unusual because, you know, like, usually people who aren't into fragrances will compliment you on like a sweet, like, crowd-pleasing fragrance. This one isn't that. It's very unusual. It's very elegant, not sweet, very sophisticated, feminine, mature, I would say. Definitely really mature, but like appropriate and versatile. So this is absolutely going to be a staple fragrance for me, and I will be getting a full bottle. I couldn't find this even in store anywhere, so I had to buy like the little bottle, and I like it so much that I'm going to have to get the full bottle. So yeah, that's the Kelly from Hermes, and it's one of my favorite leather fragrances. It also has a strong note of grapefruit and rose on my skin, but the leather is the one that really stands out. And the next one is Banana Republic Black Platinum. I've been using this for about a year. It's so unusual. It's one of those fragrances that just like, it has an interesting metallic note. It has like a metallic sweetness almost. I know it sounds strange, but it really works in this fragrance. And the leather, it's not sweet. The leather in here is like almost a metallic-y leather. It's hard to explain. It also has notes of amber and cactus, but just the way that the leather is in this is very unique. It's very niche vibes. It's not niche performance though. It doesn't perform very well, but definitely has a very, very unique fragrance profile. And I have 2 backup bottles of this because I love it so much. So that's Black Platinum from Banana Republic. Some of these are gonna like range. Some of them are gonna be niche and some of them are gonna be Banana Republic. Like, I'm honestly telling you the ones that I really, really enjoy. So they're kind of a mixed bag. And then my last one for leather is also one that I recently got, and it's Guerlain Black Perfecto. So from the La Petite Robe Noire series, and this is Black Perfecto Floral. And this is a really unapologetic, strong, sharp leather with rose, but the leather in here is not a soft leather. This one is potent. It's definitely an evening fragrance. I have it sprayed on my arm. It's very long lasting. It's very, like, not harsh, but it's very present. The leather is very, like, it kind of has a bite to it, and it's very elegant. It kind of looks like, it smells like what the bottle looks like. I didn't expect this from the La Petite Robe Noire line because everything else kind of has a cherry and almondy kind of thing going on, very sweet. This one is not as sweet. It is sweet, but not as sweet as the rest from the line. It doesn't have a cotton candy feel. It's very leather. So I like it for that. So that's definitely in my leather lineup. My next favorite note is tea. The first fragrance is Elizabeth Arden White Tea. It opens up a bit herbaceous, and it has a sort of sharpness to it in the beginning, but once it settles, it has in the opening it's a bit sharp, but it settles into a really pretty musky green tea with just a really nice scent bubble. And yeah, it's very, very clean, very elegant. This fragrance is very light. It's got a very spa-like zen vibe. People describe this fragrance as like a white shirt fragrance, and I totally see it. It's very crisp, clean, very fresh, and yeah, definitely a springtime fragrance. It's always in my rotation, especially when it's hot out. This is like a dumb reach for me. The next tea fragrance is going to be a bit of a surprise, and it's not a tea dominant fragrance, but it's Manifesto L'Éclat by Yves Saint Laurent. And the reason why I chose this for tea is because it has a tea note, and for the longest time I couldn't figure out what distinguishes the Manifesto L'Éclat from the original Manifesto, and it's the tea note. The tea note grounds the fragrance and it prevents it from becoming too sweet. It gives it a sort of greenness that I really enjoy. And you guys know by now that I'm not a huge fan of sweet fragrances. So if there's something in a sweet fragrance that can kind of balance it out and prevent it or kind of deflect it from the sweetness, this one's really well rounded, and the tea note in here is what really distinguishes it. So I definitely do prefer it over the original Manifesto, which doesn't have the tea note. And this is like a marshmallowy tea. It's definitely a cool weather fragrance, and so this is my tea fragrance that I've been reaching for now in the winter. And so that's Yves Saint Laurent Manifesto L'Éclat. My last tea fragrance I literally just got, and it's from, I guess, the brand where I typically get my fragrance oils. They now launched like a extrait de parfum line, and I didn't realize that most of these were dupes until I read later. So I guess this one is a dupe for Eau de Memo. By the way, this is not sponsored at all. I just happened to buy it because I like their fragrance oils. So I got this, and it's called Ludic, and it has tea and it has leather, and the leather in here is a nice smoky leather, and then the tea is like a very rich, thick green tea, kind of like a matcha tea, you know, that like powder green tea that's very, very strong. And it's just very like rich. It's a very rich but also very crisp fragrance. It's completely unisex. I can easily see this on a man and on a woman. I like this fragrance because it doesn't have like a sharp alcohol opening, I guess because it's an extrait de parfum. It opens up and you just kind of smell the fragrance right away. Also, it goes quite oily on the paper. I don't know if you can see that. And then it just kind of stays oily like that. So I guess they do have a lot of fragrance oil in here, but yeah, it's very rare to find a heavy, thick tea fragrance. But this is it. It's a very heavy, thick tea fragrance with leather, and it's not sweet. It's just very, very sophisticated, and I'm just really enjoying it. I find it to be really well blended, and I'm just really loving the tea in here and just the combination with the leather as well, and with the citruses. And it's a really great cold weather tea fragrance that isn't sweet. So because of the leather note in there, it makes it quite heavy. So yeah, that's the brand is, I don't think I even told you guys what the brand is. It's called Okcha. You can just Google that, and the fragrance is Ludic. And that's just literally like I've discovered in the last couple days, so I had to include it in my 3 for 3. The final note is a floral, and it's jasmine. I absolutely love jasmine. I couldn't figure out which white floral I was gonna kind of group it all together as just white florals, but I thought that would be unfair and kind of cheating. So I had to narrow it down to jasmine, which was insanely difficult. I didn't know if I would go for tuberose or gardenia, but in the end, jasmine won, and that is because I love Alien. I've spoken about this many times, and you guys know Alien. It's polarizing. You either love it or you hate it. I don't think I know one person who's like, oh, Alien's okay. Nobody thinks Alien's okay. You either love it or you hate it. It's a really strong, indolic, almost like animalic jasmine with amber and woody notes. That's basically it. It's great for layering as well. I'll do a separate layering video at some point. But yeah, because it's just kind of 3 notes. And in those 3 notes, it's so unique. I've never smelled anything like Alien. I've smelled fragrances that have a similar jasmine note or a similar amber, but I've never smelled something, although I've never smelled dupes, but I've never smelled something and said, oh yeah, that reminds me of Alien. Nothing. It stands on its own. It's so unique, and yeah, it's one of those extremely polarizing fragrances with a really strong jasmine note. It's very sexy. It works very well on me, and it's always going to be in my rotation. So that is Alien by Mugler. Unfortunately, it has been reformulated, and I do prefer the pre-reformulation version, but I'm just going to take what I can get. Just the new version's just a tiny bit more soapy. Longevity is still good, and it's still an amazing fragrance, but if I have to be picky, then yeah, I would prefer the original. My next jasmine is Pure Poison Elixir by Dior, and specifically the Elixir version. It has the most dominant jasmine note. So the atomizer I showed you guys before is pretty shit, but actually, you know what? I tightened this, and I guess that worked because it untightens and then it sprays poorly. But if you tighten it, okay, now I broke it. Okay, I fixed it. Yeah, this is it's quite sweet. It's dense, but at the same time, very clean, very sensual. Like, this fragrance is the epitome of sensuality, and it's just beautiful. I don't think anybody would really strongly dislike this. It's very heavy on the jasmine, but it's a different jasmine than an Alien. This one is very clean. It's very fresh, but at the same time, it's very dense. And it's, again, very rare to find a fragrance that covers that it's dense, but also clean. You know, usually the dense fragrances, they're very, very sweet and heavy. They can be cloying. This one, I think it could be cloying when it's hot out, but generally it's not a cloying fragrance. And yeah, it's just very seductive. You smell it and it's intoxicating. It's one of those. And I also have a backup bottle of that because it's been discontinued. And this one smells like Pure Poison before it was reformulated. So I will try to use this for as long as I possibly can, and then I'll have to settle for just Pure Poison. But yeah, I adore it, which is funny because I don't like Hypnotic Poison, but they're nothing similar. You know, all the poisons, they're completely different, so you can't say one's flankers of the other. I love to apply this fragrance in the evening after like a nice long bubble bath or a hot shower. It just works so well on my skin. So this is one of my favorites for jasmine. And my last pick for the note of jasmine is Maison Lancôme Jasmine's Marzipan. This one is predominantly jasmine with almond, vanilla, and musk. And the jasmine note is really what stands out here. It's quite a sweet jasmine. It's very different from the last two that I've mentioned. It's very different from Alien, completely not that type of jasmine, and not like Pure Poison either. This one is sweet, but not in a clean, fresh way that Pure Poison is. This one is sweet in gourmandish kind of way, and it's rare for me to really like something that's gourmand leaning, but I do really enjoy this fragrance, and I usually get compliments when I wear it. People pick up the projection bubble, and I'll usually get comments in the day like, oh, what are you wearing? Oh, that smells really nice. Oh, what's that perfume? And so I guess the projection bubble is quite significant. But yeah, I just really like this. It's a really unique sweet jasmine, and it's really, really masterfully blended, and I think this one will always be in my rotation. So that is my last pick. That is Jasmine's Marzipan from Maison Lancôme, and that covers my 3 for 3 tag. I guess I have to tag someone, so I will tag a fellow Canadian. I'll tag Chad from A Gentleman's Journey, and I'll kind of throw out a burn vote, and you smells good, Eugene, if you want to jump on the tag bandwagon. And we all know how much you love tag videos. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.